True hard sci-fi doesn't just use science as window dressing. It makes scientific accuracy the foundation of storytelling. These 12 films consulted actual scientists, followed real physics, and treated research as drama. They prove that rigorous science enhances rather than limits imagination. 2001: A Space Odyssey, 1968. Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece remains the gold standard for scientifically accurate space cinema. Every detail, from the rotating space station creating artificial gravity to the silent vacuum of space, follows real physics. No swooshing rockets or impossible maneuvers, just authentic orbital mechanics. HL 9000's artificial intelligence feels genuinely plausible rather than fantastical. The computer's calm logic, growing paranoia, and ultimate rebellion against human authority predicted modern AI development with unsettling accuracy. HAL doesn't malfunction. It evolves beyond human control. The film's exploration of human evolution, from apes discovering tools to humans becoming something beyond current understanding, treats scientific concepts with philosophical weight. 2001's influence on hard science fiction cannot be overstated. It established that audiences could handle complex scientific concepts when presented with visual poetry and intellectual ambition. Contact, 1997. Carl Sagan's adaptation of his own novel represents the most accurate depiction of scientific research ever filmed. Jodie Foster's Dr. Ellie Arroway follows actual SETI protocols, uses real radio telescopes, and approaches alien contact through rigorous scientific methodology. The signal detection sequences feel completely authentic. Radio astronomy, frequency analysis, pattern recognition, everything based on actual search for extraterrestrial intelligence procedures. When the signal arrives, the scientific community's response mirrors real protocols for first contact scenarios. The film explores the tension between scientific evidence and religious faith without dismissing either perspective. Arroway's journey from skeptical scientist to someone who experiences something beyond scientific measurement reflects genuine philosophical questions about knowledge and belief. Contact proves that hard sci-fi can tackle profound questions about humanity's place in the universe while maintaining scientific integrity. The film treats First Contact as primarily a scientific and philosophical challenge rather than military threat. Interstellar, 2014. Christopher Nolan collaborated with theoretical physicist Kip Thorne to create the most scientifically accurate black hole ever depicted on screen. The gravitational lensing, accretion disk, and time dilation effects follow Einstein's relativity equations precisely. The film's central premise, that love transcends dimensional boundaries, sounds unscientific, but it's grounded in real physics about information transmission across space-time. The Tesseract sequence visualizes higher dimensional space using actual mathematical concepts. Cooper's agricultural background brings practical problem-solving to impossible situations. His farming experience with soil composition, crop rotation, and environmental adaptation translates directly to space exploration challenges. Interstellar succeeds because it takes both science and emotion seriously, treating them as complementary rather than contradictory forces in human experience. The Martian, 2015, Andy Weir's meticulously researched novel becomes the most accurate Mars survival story ever filmed. Mark Watney's potato cultivation, water generation, and habitat modification all follow real chemistry and engineering principles. Matt Damon's performance emphasizes problem-solving over melodrama. Watney approaches each crisis, food shortage, communication breakdown, transportation challenges, through scientific method and engineering ingenuity rather than action hero heroics. The film's technical accuracy extends to orbital mechanics, rocket science, and space mission planning. NASA consulted throughout production, ensuring that rescue scenarios follow actual space agency protocols and capabilities. The film's optimistic tone proves that hard sci-fi doesn't require dystopian scenarios. Watney's determination, humor, and scientific competence create inspiring narrative about human ingenuity overcoming impossible odds. The Martian influenced real Mars colonization planning and renewed public interest in space exploration through its realistic depiction of planetary survival challenges. Arrival, 2016. Linguistics becomes hard science in Denis Villeneuve's exploration of language, communication, and time perception. Amy Adams' Dr. Louise Banks approaches alien contact through real linguistic principles rather than universal translator magic. The heptapod's circular language reflects genuine theories about how grammar structures affect thought processes. Their non-linear writing system demonstrates the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, that language shapes perception of reality and time. The film's scientific approach to first contact follows actual protocols developed by linguists and anthropologists. Pattern recognition, comparative analysis, cultural context, all grounded in real communication theory. Learning the alien language literally changes Louise's brain structure, allowing her to perceive time non-linearly. This connects to actual neuroscience research about how bilingualism affects cognitive function and temporal perception. Arrival elevates linguistics to the same level as traditional hard sciences, proving that communication studies can provide dramatic foundation for intelligent science fiction storytelling. Moon, 2009. Duncan Jones' debut feature proves that hard sci-fi works on intimate scales and modest budgets. Sam Rockwell's isolated lunar miner experiences psychological breakdown that raises questions about identity, consciousness, and corporate exploitation. The lunar-based design feels completely realistic. Low gravity effects, radiation shielding, resource extraction equipment, everything based on actual lunar mission planning and mining technology concepts. Rockwell's performance carries the entire film, depicting psychological isolation effects that mirror real research about long-duration space missions. His gradual mental deterioration feels authentic rather than melodramatic. Moon demonstrates that hard sci-fi can explore profound philosophical questions about consciousness and identity while maintaining scientific authenticity and emotional resonance on limited resources. Solaris, 1772/2002. Stanisław Lem's philosophical novel explores the limitations of human understanding when confronting truly alien intelligence. The ocean planet manifests psychological states, forcing confrontation with memory, guilt, and the impossibility of genuine communication with non-human consciousness. The planet's psychology-based manifestations follow speculative xenobiology principles. Rather than carbon-based life forms, Solaris represents consciousness as fundamental universal property capable of interacting with human mental states. Both Tarkovsky's and Soderbergh's adaptations emphasize psychological realism over spectacle. The characters' responses to impossible situations feel authentically human. Confusion, denial, gradual acceptance of incomprehensible reality. Solaris represents hard sci-fi's philosophical potential, using rigorous speculation about consciousness and alien intelligence to explore the deepest questions about human nature and cosmic loneliness. Gatka, 1997, Andrew Nickol's genetic dystopia extrapolates current bioengineering capabilities into a society where DNA determines social status. Vincent Freeman's struggle against genetic discrimination feels increasingly relevant as genetic testing becomes routine. The film's genetic science remains remarkably accurate 25 years later. DNA analysis, genetic screening, the relationship between genotype and phenotype, everything grounded in real molecular biology research. Ethan Hawke's performance emphasizes determination over physical capability. Vincent's daily routine of scrubbing dead skin, collecting urine samples, and maintaining false identity creates constant tension between aspiration and biology. Gatka succeeds by treating genetics as both scientific reality and social construct, exploring how technological capability intersects with human prejudice and the persistence of individual determination. Ex Machina, 2014. Alex Garland's AI thriller grounds artificial consciousness in real computer science and cognitive psychology. The Turing test scenarios between Caleb and Ava explore genuine questions about machine consciousness, manipulation, and the nature of intelligence. Oscar Isaac's Nathan represents the brilliant but ethically compromised AI researcher. His methods for creating consciousness, neural networks, pattern recognition, machine learning, reflect actual AI development approaches. Eva's design deliberately evokes the uncanny valley effect. Her transparent body reveals mechanical components, while her face displays convincing emotions, creating visual tension between artificial and human characteristics. Ex Machina succeeds by treating AI development as psychological and ethical challenge, rather than purely technological problem, exploring what consciousness means for both artificial and human intelligence. Primer, 2004. Shane Carruth's time travel thriller maintains scientific rigor that most films abandon for narrative convenience. Two engineers accidentally discover temporal displacement through electromagnetic field manipulation, using actual physics principles rather than magic technology. The film's technical dialogue feels authentically scientific. Aaron and Abe speak like real engineers, discussing electromagnetic theory, causality problems, and experimental methodology without explanatory exposition for general audiences. The time travel mechanics follow consistent rules based on real physics theories. No arbitrary limitations or convenient plot devices, just logical consequences of temporal displacement explored through rigorous experimentation. Primer proves that hard sci-fi can succeed through intelligence and authenticity, rather than expensive effects, creating one of the most scientifically rigorous time travel stories ever filmed. Stowaway, 2021. Joe Penna's Mars mission thriller explores the brutal mathematics of space travel when an accidental passenger creates impossible survival calculations. The three-person crew must confront resource limitations, medical emergencies, and moral choices without easy solutions. The spacecraft design reflects real Mars mission planning, rotating sections for artificial gravity, life support systems, radiation shielding, everything based on actual NASA mission architecture studies. Anna Kendrick's medical officer demonstrates realistic space medicine challenges, limited equipment, surgical procedures in zero gravity, psychological support for crew members, all grounded in actual space medicine research. The Mars mission timeline and orbital mechanics follow real space travel constraints, communication delays, launch windows, trajectory calculations, technical accuracy that reinforces dramatic tension. Stowaway succeeds by treating space exploration as dangerous endeavor with genuine consequences rather than adventure playground, exploring how ordinary people respond to impossible moral choices in hostile environments. Coherence, 2013. James Ward Burkitt's quantum mechanics thriller demonstrates how hard sci-fi can work through intimate character drama. 8 friends experience parallel universe convergence during dinner party, creating psychological horror through theoretical physics. The film's quantum mechanical concepts, decoherence, parallel states, observation effects, follow real physics principles. The comet's gravitational influence on quantum fields provides plausible scientific framework for impossible events. The production's improvisational approach creates authentic confusion and growing paranoia. Cast members receive different information about their characters' backgrounds, creating genuine uncertainty that mirrors the audience experience. The film explores identity and consciousness questions raised by parallel universe theory. If infinite versions of yourself exist, which one is real? How do you maintain identity when reality becomes unstable? Coherence proves that hard sci-fi's most powerful effects come from rigorous thinking rather than expensive spectacle, using quantum physics to explore fundamental questions about reality, identity, and human relationships. These 12 films represent hard sci-fi at its finest, rigorous science combined with compelling human stories. They prove that scientific accuracy enhances rather than limits dramatic possibilities, treating audiences as intelligent viewers capable of engaging with complex ideas. The best science fiction doesn't just predict the future. It helps us understand the present through the lens of scientific truth. Subscribe for more cinema that respects both science and storytelling.